Behold, nature's cutest baby, the duckling. Venturing from the safety of their pond, mother and baby soon encounter their greatest nemesis, the Virginia driver. Fortunately, the duckling commands the driver's full attention, but for pedestrians, their attention span is limited. So, when you cross the street, don't forget to look for cars. They'll stop for ducklings, but they might not stop for you.
The DMV really always has the best commercials. October is Pedestrian Safety Month, and even though the commercial might be funny, the topic is no laughing matter. Joining us virtually to explain more is Jillian Cowherd from the DMV. Hey, Jillian.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having us to talk about the importance of pedestrian safety and our precious little ducks.
I mean, it's really hard to concentrate with the focus of the commercial being so cute, but I'm gonna try. Now, they might be cute, but pedestrian safety isn't a laughing matter, like I said in the intro. So why is Pedestrian Safety Month so important?
It's so important because there's so many things we can do to get our fatalities down to zero. Last year, 133 pedestrians lost their lives in the state of Virginia, and that's just too many. So we want to try and raise awareness, and a lot of this campaign is reminding pedestrians that we have to take ownership of our own safety.
Yes, that was actually going to be my next question was, is this campaign geared more towards pedestrians protecting themselves or drivers also working to protect the pedestrians?
Yeah, so let's be clear, drivers are not off the hook. This campaign definitely focused on pedestrians and reminding them to look up away from your phone, make sure that you're making eye contact with that driver because you may think that they see you, but they may not be paying as close of attention as they should be. So unfortunately, we have to be extra careful as pedestrians to make sure that we are doing everything we can to keep ourselves safe. And for drivers, of course, like I said, you're not off the hook. You have to make sure that you're not driving distracted and you're never, ever driving intoxicated.
Yes, and teamwork can drive those numbers down from the pedestrians and the drivers. And I remember a few years ago when that Pokemon game was really popular, I remember there were a lot of pedestrian accidents because people just weren't looking up from their phones and they were walking straight into the road. So that makes perfect sense. Now, if you're driving down the road, what can you do as a driver to help keep pedestrians safe?
Well, if you're somewhere like a city, somewhere where you expect there to be foot traffic, be extra aware. Be aware that sometimes people do not use crosswalks. Sometimes they're going to step out from behind cars. Of course, we always tell people use crosswalks, use well-lit areas, use the crossing areas that are designated for you so drivers know what to expect. But as a driver, you have to be alert and you have to be looking and constantly aware that something could happen and you need to be able to react.
Definitely. And on the flip side of the same coin, as pedestrians, what can you do to protect yourself when it comes to walking along roads with heavy vehicle traffic?
Dress to be seen. That's a huge one. If it's dark outside, grab a flashlight. We all have our phones on us at all times. Turn that flashlight light on if that's the only thing you've got. If you are somebody who's walking around a lot, especially this time of year, it starts to get dark sooner and sooner. Have something reflective with you, have that light, make sure you can be seen. And whenever possible, please cross in crosswalks or at intersections where vehicles are slowing down, stopping, and it's more well lit.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for all those tips. I do have one final question for you. I have to know what hand you have in the creative process for these commercials because they are just mwah, chef's kiss.
They are so great. We love this one. We are spoiled to get to work with a group here in Richmond called Two Tango. And we all get to kind of sit in a room and brainstorm together and say, okay, how can we get people's attention? And with this one, it was sort of that idea that, you know, baby ducks get people's attention and they stop. So let's remind folks that, yeah, they may be cute and get your attention as a driver, but as a driver, you got to pay just as close of attention to those pedestrians, even if we're not quite as cute as a fluffy little baby duck.
Absolutely. And mission accomplished, because that commercial is adorable and it does really get the wheels turning. Now, where can people find more information?
Yeah, if you would like to know more about pedestrian safety, things you can do to get involved in your community, we just tell you to go to our website, dmv.virginia.gov. There's a whole safety section where you can learn a lot more about how to keep yourself safe as a pedestrian and how to get involved in your community.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jillian, and thank you for all of these tips.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having us.